Hi guys, Steve from Gym Hub. In today's video, I want to give you a practical tip to maintain a positive outlook and maintain a high level of energy during the recession and during hardships. So there's a famous quote by the motivator and business guru, Jim Rohn, that says, "Stand guard at the door of your mind daily." And what that's basically talking about is this kind of set of scales almost that exists where all information going in will determine ultimately whether you're in a good mood today, whether you're feeling anxious, whether you're feeling fearful, or whether you're feeling optimistic and energetic and actually being that sort of best version of yourself. And it's really important that you understand that you actually have to play an active role here. You have to proactively play a role in ensuring that less of that sort of negative news goes into your mind and has an impact on your energy levels, and more of that sort of enriching content and stuff that's actually going to add value to your life is on the scales. So we've got the news on one side, which is negative, and we've got the decision where we can choose to actually have a podcast or a book or a blog or something which will add value to our lives. And it's us, not the media, that will determine how we feel and how we behave on a day-to-day basis by how we balance out those scales. So there's an equation that basically says information times focus equals reality. So it's the information that we are exposed to times what we actually choose to focus on affects our reality. So at the moment, there's people running around frantic like chooks with their heads cut off, stealing toilet paper out of the grasp of a little old lady at Woolworths. And there's other people like just desperately fearful right now because the majority, as in 99% of the content and the information that they're seeing is coming from the press. What's important to understand is news is actually a product. News is actually required to sell. So it's their job to actually make it inflammatory. It's their job to exaggerate the truth. It's their job to get the whole story and then zero in on one specific fact or one thing that someone said, because it will get that inflammatory response and it will actually sell more news. However, it's also our choice to ensure that we understand what the role of the other stuff is that we can have an impact on. So you've got I times F. So the information we choose to use, we have a control, and that's that set of scales that we spoke about before. My suggestion, in order to maintain a positive outlook, to maintain a high level of energy, and to be the best version of yourself during a recession, is to ensure that you're watching less news and make sure you're doing at least 30 to 40 minutes per day where you plug into some content that will enrich your life. Think about a blog, think about a book, think about a podcast or something where you actually feel that you've learned something that actually makes you a better version of yourself and isn't necessarily just provided by one of the #1 news outlets in the country. I think it's going to be tough over the next few months. I think most people feel like they're out of control. And when you feel out of control, that's when you feel fearful. That's when you feel desperate. That's when you feel like, just giving up. However, if you understand that the scales are actually monitored by us, if we're a stand at guard at the door of our mind, it's actually a job that we actively need to participate in. There's no news outlet in the country or in the world that can determine how you feel today. There's no news outlet that has the ultimate say in whether you're productive and ticking a lot of stuff off and improving your SEO for your gym and providing the #1 virtual training resource for your local area that's humanly possible, or whether you're literally just covered in sweat, locked up under the doona, just fearing for what could happen. None of that is determined by the news. It's totally up to us, because we're the ones that guard the door. We're the ones that determine whether our scales are balanced. And if you're feeling a little bit like those kind of stressed out people at the moment, your scales are out of balance. You need less news. You need more of of that enriching content. I hope to sort of encourage you guys and point you in the right direction as to what to focus on, how to actually set your marketing up and improve your marketing during lockouts, so that when the gyms reopen, you're actually getting a running start and you get a huge, a huge line of people coming to join your bricks and mortar gym. I'll show you how to run a profitable virtual training business. I'll show you how to cut all your costs back. I'll show you how to keep your best staff and maintain their wages and stuff going. All that type of stuff. I'll show you what to focus on, but you need to manage the scales and make sure there's less of the rubbish, less of the news, less of that kind of salesy type stuff that people are trying to do, and take control back. I hope that's been useful. I'm Steve from Gym Hub. I know you can actually be positive, outgoing, and super productive during this period, but you have to make that choice. I'll see you on the inside. Thanks, guys. Bye.